The average bodybuilder spends $300 to $500 per month on supplements, according to these websites. The average American, anywhere from $68, $56 on different sources. Okay, this is absolutely insane. I know so many people that have gone into GNC wanting to just ask a question to walking out with over $300 worth of supplements that they don't need. There's no reason, Dennis, you need tree bark extract or elderberry. There's no reason for you to need sunflower seed oil, okay? So in this video, I'm going to teach you the only supplements that you need, the best, in my opinion, that improves your performance at the gym and increases muscle mass, improves quality of life, and one of my personal favorites that I see the most amount of difference from, okay? Start with step one, though. Go get your blood work done and actually see what you might be deficient in, okay? If you're a guy and you feel like you're just always down and you just feel like you're not seeing results, you actually just might have low testosterone, and that's something that you could get prescribed by your doctor. If you're a woman and you just have low energy or something, you go get your blood work done. Women typically actually tend to have a lower iron count in their blood. So they tend to have iron deficiency at a greater scale. I've seen a lot of women just take an intense iron supplement and it bounces them right out of anemia. Okay. When you're anemic, you have low energy, you don't tan as well, you have bags under your eyes, you don't sleep as well. So there's so much that could be read through your blood work. It's literally just reading you. It's reading your blood, right? So get your blood work done and get someone that knows how to read it. Starting off with the best supplement for muscle, talked about a ton and for a good reason, is creatine, okay? Now, guys, I'm the first person that will tell you that you should be getting most of your vitamins through the food that you actually eat. However, when you're trying to get 5 to 10 grams of creatine through food a day, if you want to get 10 grams of creatine from steak, you'd need to consume 2 to 3 pounds of steak, okay? This is a real comparison. Now, I would love to be the guy eating this much steak every day, but my wallet would probably hate me, okay? I probably would have to rent out myself to afford this every day, okay? So I would love to be able to get this creatine from food naturally, but it's just not affordable. Way better to do from creatine. There's a lot of great places you can do that. However, let's just go into a little bit about what is creatine and what it does. Your body already has creatine in it, and it's stored in the muscle cells as phosphocreatine. It is used during short, intense efforts, anywhere from 0 to 10 seconds of exertion, by your muscles, and it uses phosphocreatine to quickly regenerate ATP, aka adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy source for muscle operation and contraction, okay? So examples of using creatine in your body, phosphocreatine, heavy weightlifting, short sprints, explosive jumps, you get the gist, okay? What the supplement creatine does is it raises the amount of phosphocreatine available in your muscles. And that allows the energy source, ATP, to regenerate faster during the first critical seconds of the intense work, okay? So to dumb it down and basically put it in terms that you'd be able to know how it's used during weightlifting, it would improve the peak power output. So it would allow you to literally lift heavier. It would enable more total reps of that heavier load in resistance training, and it would delay the fatigue in repeated short bursts, okay? And there's a reason why creatine is talked about so much. It's because it's literally the most researched supplements in sports nutrition. Okay, literally more researched than protein powder. Everyone, when they think of bodybuilding supplements and muscle building supplements, they all go, "Oh, protein powder. What protein powder?" I get asked to this day, "What protein powder do you use?" I don't use any protein powder. I haven't used protein powder in probably 6 years, and there's a good reason for it. It's because it's not the best supplement to build muscle. In unique scenarios, it is, but creatine is the number one picked supplement for muscle building for me because there's been over 1,000 peer-reviewed studies over the last 30 years. To dumb it down for you, increases performance, increases intramuscular creatine stores by 10 to 40%, increases muscle growth, recovery. It's cheap. It's easy to find. There's a neurological benefits, multiple meta-analyses showing consistent strength and power output gains. Okay, creatine. Number 2, this one for me improves the quality of life dramatically. Roll, please. D3 and magnesium. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, wait, that's 2 supplements. Well, the reason I have them together is because most of the time you can actually find them in one supplement. Now, I've never tried this brand. This is just a random example of a picture I found, but it is the recommended interval units that I recommend for each of these supplements. So vitamin D, I'd probably go around 10K interval units. Magnesium, probably 500 milligrams. That's what I usually do, okay? Diving into the actual vitamin D. Obviously, we all know you get vitamin D from the sun. However, there's a lot of importance to vitamin D that not a lot of people talk about. And I want to give credit to Dr. John Campbell. His YouTube channel is phenomenal about talking about how different vitamins can improve our quality of life. He's big on vitamin D for immunity. And that's also one of the best benefits of vitamin D. A study found using supplements to correct very low vitamin D levels led to 70% less viral and bacterial respiratory tract infections. Insane. This is one of the best immunity supplements. I would argue it's right up there with vitamin C. Okay. You can obviously find this in food as well. Eggs, egg yolks, oily fish, liver, butter, mushrooms. Now, here's the thing that you're going to need to understand. On this chart, obviously, we have a chart of different skin colors. The lighter you are, you're going to burn easier in the sun. Very easy to understand, okay? Why this is because your body can produce the vitamin D quicker. So over here, if you're over here on the chart, you will be able to absorb the vitamin D quicker than if you were over here due to, natural reasons. So, however, over here, you have a natural protector against sunburns, but you'll absorb the vitamin D slower. So if you're on this side of the chart, you actually might need to supplement more. It might be, in modern day life, you actually might need the vitamin D supplement if you're closer to this way on the chart. Okay. That's vitamin D, magnesium. These are not all the health benefits. There are so many. These are the ones that I think are the most important. Okay. Strengthens the bones. If you're in your older age, you might be battling osteoporosis that could help. Magnesium combats insulin resistance, a common thing that we see nowadays with so many overweight people in the USA. And my personal favorite is supporting digestive health. These are the sources. You can pause the video. I'll leave them in the link as well, or the description below. I like to source everything because you can't trust anyone. So here are the sources you can check out. Magnesium very improves the GI tract and the gastrointestinal tract immensely, in my opinion. That's why I really love it for the quality of life. Okay, so my personal favorite. Guys, I am not one for placebo. I know if something works when I take it, and I know if it doesn't. Within a couple days, obviously. So this supplement to me, when I first started taking it, I knew that it was working right away. And that is fish oil. Fish oil. I don't know why I had to cover that up, but fish oil, obviously the oil from fish. So many benefits. Reduces the joint and pain stiffness, fights muscle soreness, supports your heart health. Not only that, but your eyes as well. That's something when I worked at GNC, I wasn't one of the scammers telling people to buy $300 worth of things, but I learned a lot about the supplements as I worked there. One of them was that their brand of fish oil is actually one of the best, and it supports your eye health as well. Great for your brain, and it is somewhat difficult to get through your diet because just like the steak, it is kind of expensive to get the right amount of fish to get that 2,000 milligrams of DHA, which is something that's the amount that I would recommend and I would say is a general goal to go for. So you can get it through the salmon, but you can also obviously get it through the supplement. It's a lot easier. Obviously, in stuff like this, you can do it also to reduce the amount of mercury that you get. So obviously with fish, a lot of mercury hazards when eating certain kinds of fish. But if you want to get 2,000 milligrams of DHA from the fish, you need 130 to 170 grams of salmon. So about half a pound to hit that 2 grams of DHA. So this can add up in price. It can also be time consuming just to cook the salmon. And, there's a lot of other factors that goes into, the tediousness of cooking fish and preparing it and storing it and everything like that. Obviously fish also have a higher chance to have more parasites. So that's something you need to be wary of. If you're cooking fish, know how to cook it. Okay. Those are my top 3 picks. However, there are some honorable mentions, and there's actually one that overlaps. And if you are trying to build muscle, you're working out and you're getting active every day, and even if you're not, these are important. But for athletes, these are so important, and it's electrolytes, okay? So there's all these drinks out, Prime, Gatorade, pickle juice, whatever, okay? And when you're searching for a drink or something to replenish your electrolytes, you're going to want to be looking for things that have all of these: potassium, chloride, sodium, magnesium, calcium. You want all of these to get the full electrolyte spectrum. A lot of something that's been demonized in the past decade, I'd say, would be salt. Guys, salt your food. When people are demonizing salt in I guess big fitness and in the media, it's probably the furthest thing from the truth. What you do need to look for is the amount of sodium that you get within processed foods, because there's so much sodium added to things and foods that you find in drive-thrus like McDonald's and Taco Bell, right? Foods like that have a lot of sodium because they use it as a preservative. But when you're just cooking at home, most of the time, you're going to be totally fine. I use sea salt on almost everything I cook, okay? Obviously just not cereal. But when you're looking for electrolytes, make sure you have all these. Magnesium obviously overlaps. Calcium, super easy to get from milk products, potassium, bananas, and other fruit. I mean, this is surface level stuff. That's why it's like an honorable mention. And yeah, those are all of these supplements that you need. That's it, really. This is like the bare minimum. And if you really want to break it down into reducing it, just go with creatine to build muscle. Okay. You can try to get everything else through food. There's no reason to spend $300 to $500 or even $70 a month on supplements for you to build muscle. Okay. For this video, if you did like it, check out the other video if you haven't already, which is about how you can save over 15 hours a week and still get jacked if you're working a job that is 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I will give you the hacks in that video to save you over a dozen hours of time and still get jacked in the gym. Okay, so check that out. If you're looking for coaching, follow me on Instagram, DM me, whatever you want to do. But that's it for this one. Thank you.